Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share a tournament game that I played at the Parma Chess Club. Um, within, I don't know, the last 2 weeks sometime. And this game was on a night where I played all lower rated players. I was in the lower rated quad, and it just wasn't my night because I didn't lose to any of them, so that's good. But I also didn't win. I got 3 draws. And if you're doing that against lower rated players, then I think you know what happens. You drop rating points. So, not a successful night for me. But I was happy I went, and I did enjoy the games and meeting some new people. So, let's see what we can learn from this one. So, this game especially baffled me. So, let's see if we can figure out what went wrong this game. So I had the black pieces against Swami Sundaram, who's like rated around 1300. He might be stronger than that though. It kind of seems like it. Okay, and he started with e4. I went e5, of course, and he went knight c3. So already I'm not too comfortable with this move because, well, I haven't studied it too much, and I was wondering if he might go with a Vienna gambit. So I did go knight to f6, and he went f4. No, just kidding. He actually didn't. He went knight f3. But had he gone f4, you have to remember that this is the Vienna gambit, and taking here is a terrible move. You do not want to do this. You pretty much got to move your knight back home. This is the best move. So you don't want to take, actually the only good move here is the move d5, countering in the center. The point is that when they take here, attacking the knight, which they usually do, now this pawn is protected and we can take with our knight. So anyway, that's a little flavor of the Vienna gambit. But then knight f3 is what he chose, and I played knight to c6. So here we have what is called the 4 knights. So if anyone looked at this board, they would think 2 kids were playing. This is what kids play all the time. The kids are taught knights before bishops. So they put out their knights before bishops. Makes sense. Okay. But now my opponent played bishop to b5, which is the Spanish variation of the 4 knights. Yeah, and here, here I think I psychologically made an error. I played scared. Here. Now I can tell you that I know that my repertoire move is knight to d4. I can also tell you that this move is pretty sharp. It's pretty sharp. I mean, actually, we're hanging our e-pawn right away. White could take this e-pawn. And I was looking at this and I was like, yeah, I have no idea how this line goes or how to get my pawn back. Like, I have no clue. I don't remember anything. And I chose not to play this. So let's look at this line really quickly. I do think it's quite interesting. Notice we can't kick the knight with d6 because we would hang our king. Not recommended. Also, it's illegal. So so really what we should do here is just queen e7. I mean, maybe we could take the bishop too. I don't see a problem with that. But queen e7 I like a little bit better because it attacks the knight straight away. And behind that knight is a pawn, which is also attacked by our knight. So I think it's a little stronger to play queen e7. And if you were to do something like knight f3, I think we could just take the bishop now. Now we have 2 bishops. Knight takes b5. He's threatening a fork. Gotta watch out. But now we can actually take that e-pawn with check. Yeah, king f1 is like a move. They can also go queen e2, and then we can just take. Why not? Their king's a little bit uncomfortable, and we've got 2 bishops. There is a fork, so yeah, I think the move here is actually knight to d5. Just defend the fork, and if they attack us, you can tell I've studied this since the game. Yeah, here we could actually play a6, a counter-attacking move. Now if they take our knight, we take their knight. Who's got the better pawns? I think black. And if they move their knight away, well, we probably just take. Once again, who's got the better pawns? It's black. And black has 2 bishops. Black must be better here, and I would gladly go into this line. I was scared to navigate the complications, but you know what? If you're the stronger player in a tournament game, you should invite complications. Right? Like I'm not going to beat him with opening knowledge. I mean, that could happen, but I'm going to win games by outplaying my opponents. That's the way to win games, or play faster. So my mindset for this game was incorrect. My mind was elsewhere. So okay, anyway, in the actual game, I played this move. Yeah, look at the notation. I want to turn those off, actually. I don't like them being on when I analyze, because we want to assess the situation ourselves first. Okay, d6, pinning myself. And right after I made this move, I mean, you know what I was thinking? I was like, I don't remember my repertoire and I'm scared of it. I know what I'll do. I'll just play solid and I'll play him later. Yeah, well, if you take on a worse position and you give white the initiative, it's going to be harder to outplay them, right? They might get an initiative on you, pose problems for you. It's kind of what happens this game. So, yeah, after d6, I was worried about a certain move here. So I wonder if you guys are thinking the same way as me. Yeah, I was like, wow, I just made d4 a good move. Like, he could play d4. And now d4 comes with tempo, because he's threatening to attack my knight, which is pinned. You know? And if I try to play a6 intermezzo, he takes, or he could, I guess he could take a check. Yeah, take. I don't know. This doesn't look good. I don't think I should let white get the center like this. So white did get the center. My knight's pinned. I got to do something about that. So bishop d7. Probably the best move. But now d5. So I have to play a little bit cramped now. I allowed white to play d4, d5, and gain a very nice center and gain more space. Notice that the d5 pawn is in my half of the board, and my e5 pawn is also in my half of the board. So white's got more space. Yeah, so here I did calculate a bit, and I thought, ooh, knight e7. It looks awkward as ever, but I thought this is kind of interesting. I might play knight g6. I might move the knight on f6 and play f5. I felt like I had play here, and if he trades, well, I think the trades favor black in a way, because black's pieces are going to trip over themselves. There's not enough space. So if we trade some pieces, I'll feel much better. So yeah, here he played bishop g5. Now it turns out in this moment I could do something good. Trying to remember what that is. Oh, I think I know, actually. Yeah, you know what I can do? I could take the bishop, and once knight takes, that knight is no longer protecting the pawn. I could take the pawn. And if we take, and they take here first, because they could do that. Well, I'm not sure. I can't imagine it would be bad, whatever we do. We could either take back, or we could even retreat our bishop. Actually, maybe we should. Maybe we should retreat our bishop, like bishop a6. I think I recall this move from an earlier look at the game. Yeah, and after bishop a6, if they just retreat, guess who has 2 bishops and guess who doesn't? Black has 2 bishops. White does not. But in the game, I actually went knight g6, played it rather quickly, but this is actually a mistake. Because I get a bad position, basically. So he takes, take. Okay. Now you might be saying, Stacia, you let him wreck your king side. What are you doing? Well, I've got another side. I didn't castle yet. So calm down. Now I've got an open G file. I'm going to come get him. Yeah, the only problem with the open G file, I think, is the fact that White hasn't castled yet either. If he had castled, I think I would really love my open G file. And Black would be totally fine, maybe even better. But here, as you'll see, he's not going to put his king there. Makes sense. So playing this way doesn't make as much sense for me. Yeah, and I will tell you that during the game, I thought this position was probably fine for me. The reason is I have pawn breaks to shoot for. Like, I know these pawns are ugly. They're isolated, backwards, and weak. But I can play for f5. And then I can play it for f5 again with the other one. So that's definitely a goal. I could also castle queenside, play king b8, c6. I could break with c6, get my other rook over here. Yeah, I don't know. I think I felt like there was a lot of ideas to play for here. So let's see, how did this go wrong? Queen d3 by my opponent, but this move makes a lot of sense. He's basically saying like, I was gonna castle, but yeah, then I saw your open G file. So I thought I shouldn't put my king there. Let's put him here instead. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I went knight f4 right away, attacking the queen. And the queen went to f1 because I was also attacking the g2 pawn. And here I castled. I remember the computer didn't like this move. Okay, so what should I do if I'm not going to castle? That's a good question. Kind of surprised I didn't go rook g8 first. Maybe I shouldn't commit my king so quickly, but somehow I don't feel that that's it, because where's my king going to go? I mean, he could stay in the center. That's possible. Like, I could aim to trade off this bishop, like try to go bishop a6, trade off somehow, and then put my king on e7. I think that is an actual idea. Maybe. I think it's okay. I'm actually not sure. A French defense player could tell me. Where's National Master Ralph Tan when I need him? Okay, but yeah, I castled. Okay, so I'm confused. What did the computer want me to do? Oh, it wants me to go f5 right away. Yeah, it wants me to go f5 right away. Okay, turn it back off. Yeah, it's important to... I understand why the computer's saying this. It's saying, Stacia, you've got 2 isolated, weak, sick pawns. Like, how about you trade them off? Just go f5 right away. Just go f5. Yeah, I like this idea a lot, because even if I take and invite the knight in, I have another pawn. And then my pawn's not isolated and weak anymore. My position's more harmonious. My queen has access to this side of the board. And yeah, I just feel like, yeah, that would have been a whole different thing. So yeah, I agree with the computer. So castles. And knight to d2 was played. Yeah, I think he played knight d2. I think that's a good move, actually. I like it. I think one of the reasons that he played the move is to shore up the center. A lot of times, I've seen this in other openings where you move your knight out of the way so you can create a strong pawn chain like that. So I think he's doing that. He's also perhaps getting ready to transfer the knight over to the king side. That could happen too. And once those knights get over there, that could be pretty annoying, right? Like my plans are good plans, but they're also a little slow. So this is why the computer wanted me to go f5 early, because now it's getting to be a little late. I went rook g8, but that's a little late. And I made a rhyme. And I'm drinking some wine. Can't you tell? Okay, sorry. That was really bad. Okay, but yeah, I just thought rook g8, you know, I'm attacking, you know, I'm getting my rook on an open file with tempo. Like, what more do you want? But this is actually not a good move according to the computer. The computer thinks I should be desperate now. I need to work on the king side right now or play f5. Yeah, the computer's like, look, you don't have time for anything. You know, you've got to get going. So, okay, I did this though. So he protected. Yeah, and this was my idea. So, you know what? Now I realize, I think this one bad idea. If you pair this with my scared to play what I know is the best move in the opening, then you just get a bad game. You get a bad game. So I need to trust my knowledge, be more objective. I think I can do this, but I couldn't at the time. Too much stuff on my mind, I would say. But everyone has an excuse, right? I shouldn't. There's really no excuse. So knight to h3. Yeah, this is my bad idea. My bad idea, which I thought was a good idea, was I'm going to put my knight on h3. I'm going to put him in the position. I'm going to say, hey, your queen can't move now. It's harder to castle because I might take that. And otherwise, I might reroute and I might put pressure. Yeah, and all these maybes and mights, they're not good enough because I fail to see a flaw in this plan, and that flaw is that I wanted to go knight g5. You know, part of the idea was to reroute to knight g5 and then possibly get in here. That would be amazing if I could get in there. But if I go knight g5, my knight gets trapped. And I notice this. So after knight h3, castle queenside, I wanted to go knight g5. And I was like, wait a minute. If I go knight g5, like I just lose, right? Like maybe h4? Like where does my knight go? He eats his own teammate. No, I mean, like, there's nowhere to go. I mean, they could even do this one. This one works too. This takes. I still have nowhere to go. Everything's protected. So I did realize this. But I didn't realize it until after I had gone for this, which I played quickly, by the way. I'm trying to manage my time better. So I came up with a solution. I thought, okay, bishop h6, because I have to develop. This pins the knight. I want my rooks connected. That was my idea. So I'm just going to play out and take. And that way my rooks are connected. And then I'm going to play h5. And h5 will create an escape square for the knight. And it's a very sad escape square. Okay, but I couldn't come up with anything better than this. That's all I had. So yeah, he went king b1. Did take. The computer agrees with this. Yeah, it says h5. So yeah, this is the only way to not lose material, which is kind of crazy. So my opponent played f3. Probably knight g5 is the move. Oh, I didn't play knight g5. Yeah, once again. Hmm. I'm actually starting to wonder if this is the function of too much blitz. Too much blitz. I start to play lazy. I start to not look at options. I start to think I have all the time in the world to make moves, which isn't even true during blitz, by the way. um, and I mean chess time, not actual time. Like turns, number of turns. Like, oh yeah, I'll go F5 when I feel like it. Like, no, I missed my chance and I went for a bad plan instead and I got a worse position. So H5 is another mistake. So I made a lot of mistakes this game. Because it's too slow, I think. It's just simply too slow. I mean, I thought it was kind of an interesting move because I'm trying to get my knight to an excellent square. Like, I want my knight to go to F4. But the pawn on G3 says no. So, okay, let's attack that. And if he takes, yay, I got my square, right? So that was the idea. But he doesn't have to take, so why would he? So a little bit of hope chess on my part, and I spent a whole turn on it. And then he plays G4, and I don't think I realized the power of G4 until it was on the board. So there's a couple things going on here. Number one, he's going to take my knight, right? Like he interfered with the defense of the knight. But number two, that F5 break that we want to get in, yeah, that's gone now. That's super protected. And we're not going to get that. So that means these pawns are sickly and weak forever now. So I missed my chance to get them up and get them in the game and everything. And now they're just sick targets. They're in the way. Sorry, no offense to anyone that's sick. Okay, but anyway, I probably went knight to F4. I did. Okay, knight E2. Yeah, so this game just like, oh, it gets worse too. Yeah, I can't trade, right? I can't let him take and triple my pawns. That's even worse. So I can't do that. So I had to go here. I'm like, well, hey, I can possibly bring my knight to E7 and go for the C6 break. I'll play king B8. But again, this is all too slow, I think. I think I'm just worse now, right? Everything's too slow. So king F2, queen F2. King B8. I want to go for C6, rook C8. He played knight C3. So I'm proceeding with my plan, and I thought my plan's great. Like, he doesn't even know what's coming. This is awesome. But then he played this move. A4. Yeah, that's actually pretty strong, I think. Let's see if the engine likes it. Wow, it doesn't even give it. But then when it's on the board, it says it's equal with the other moves. So the other best moves. Yeah, the idea is he wanted to go knight b5 because that would be a great knight. And also because it threatens checkmate. So I'm usually not afraid of a mate threat. But then you start looking at this and you're like, wow, that's pretty annoying actually. It's pretty difficult to not get mated. So I went rook to h8. Again, too slow. Yeah, wow. So I think yeah, I'm realizing now that I did not play incisively this game. I thought I had more time than I really did. Like more turns than I really did. And I also got a passive position because I played out of fear, not out of objective best moves. So this is a really good lesson for me. Yeah, because I went here because I'm like, hey, I want to bring my knight back in the game one way or the other. I do not want to lose that pawn. Which does make a lot of sense. But like the engine says, who cares? Like, you're worse anyway. Let white waste time over here. because then you can go rook h8, and then you can go rook h3, and you infiltrate. Oh, I did not see this line. I think if I had, I would have gone for that. Okay. Anyway, instead I protected the pawn. And the knight comes into b5, and now it's like I'm almost lost. Almost. I would like to play a6 and kick him out, but that would be checkmate, so we can't do that. I would love to play my c6 break. Wouldn't that be great? I made an escape square for my king. No, I didn't. That's still checkmate. So after knight b5, I only see one way out of this, but it's not a pleasant move. It's the move b6. So hopefully you know, when you see this move, you know what's wrong with it. Okay, b6 is a move that you make when you want to fan-ketto your light square bishop. Guess how many light square bishops I have? 0. So that means my light squares are just all weakened now. They're all weakened. And my pawn structure in general is weakened, which means that now white could probably just push their pawns. Like I'm especially afraid of a5, right? Because a5, I cannot take it. Like, let's say I just make a move randomly. Oh, no. It is their turn. Like, a5, I cannot take it. I get mated. So a5 looks scary. They might play a6. I don't know. Sacrifices are starting to look like they might happen for white. I don't know. I was not a happy camper here. So after knight to b5, I went b6. He went c4. And now I played the move a6. Yeah, I calculated. I lost some time doing so, though. Because a6 looks like a terrible move. But I thought it might be the best move. Yeah, it is the best move. Okay. So that's good to know that when I really do slow down and think, I do find the best moves. So that's good. Yeah, a6 because I've got to get the knight out. I've got to. a5 is coming. If they go a5 now, I at least win a knight. So that's good. So they got to move the knight. Knight c3. Yeah, knight e7. Ooh, this is a mistake too. Yeah, I have to go a5 here to stop white from going a5. That's why this isn't as good. Again, a slow move. I'm like, oh, I'm going to prepare my pawn break. Yeah, you can't prepare pawn breaks anymore. Like, white's attacking, they're going to crush you. Like, a5 right now, I mean, I was scared of a5. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to lose. But he didn't play that. He played f4. I was so happy when I saw f4. Just because it's not a5. And I was like, okay. So, king b7. This looks like such a funny move. Yeah, desperation, I think. I'm just trying to shore up, I'm just trying to shore up my pawns here. They're all protected, and I'm kind of preparing to go like rook a8. Like maybe I'll use the a file at some point. Like if they go a5 and they want to take, then I have rook a8. Okay, anyway. Let's wrap this up. So it turns out that his plan of f4 and taking on e5, it looks good on the surface. It does. I was scared when I first saw it. I was like, oh man, look what he did. Like, he's just going to win my sickly pawn. Maybe that's good though, because that pawn's going to be sickly forever anyway. Yeah, but then I saw here, I was like, hey, you know, like if he takes that, I can just put a rook on f8. I don't know which one. But I can at least infiltrate and get some counterplay going. Got to do something, right? Got to put some kind of pressure on him. I did nothing this whole game. Like my idea of counterplay was knight to h3, which was just ridiculous and almost got my knight trapped. So yeah, just this game was like one bad idea, like really made it a painful game. Yeah, and he played h3 and offered a draw. I mean, he was also way up on time. And I'm sure that he's ecstatic to get a draw against someone 300 points higher rated. But I looked at this position. I let my clock tick a bit more because I was like, okay, if I want to play on and try to play for a win, how do I do it? And I had nothing. I got nothing here. The best thing I could think of was knight g6, knight f4. But I'm not sure what the knight is even doing over here. Like, it's not attacking anything. It sits there pretty. That's good. But I need something more concrete because white's coming on the king side. And if I have no time on my clock, I won't defend well. I don't think I can handle it. So yeah, I had to accept the draw. But I thought it was an interesting game. I definitely wanted to share it with you all. So I'm going to be playing a lot of training games in the coming days. I don't know any of you that are still listening. You're hardcore. So I'm going to share special information with you. So I've been working full-time in chess for a nonprofit called Progress with Chess. And, well, my role there is going to shift now. I'm actually taking a leave of absence, but you'll be happy to hear that the leave of absence is so I can teach some, yes, keep teaching, keep coaching a little bit, sure. But I'm not going to be working full time. I am going to use this time to improve my health and fitness and my chess, and in that order. By the way, the only reason I want to improve my health and fitness is because of my chess. Otherwise, I don't think I have much motivation, which sounds funny. But me and Brian Castro joke about that all the time. Adult improver. Brian Castro from Better Chess Training. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the game, and I think I may play a training game now. So have a great day or a great night, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.